Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my next guest is Frank. He actually has his own podcast.
Yeah.
He's here with me at the Joe Dispenza Retreat, and we're both like mind blown at what we've been
Yeah.
seeing, crying, laughing, just joy. It's crazy, man.
To any of my friends out there, I was not crying.
I honestly,
No, I
I
was
cried a
crying.
little bit. Yeah, I cried a little bit, but it was so random. Like I was like, why am I crying? And I was just crying.
You couldn't help it, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't really help it.
It's
But
powerful.
yeah, it is. What's your thoughts on it, man?
Well, what he does, Dr. Joe Dispenza, he explains the technology because it's what we are. We're technology. That's how I look at it. And for years, like the analogy I use at dinner,
Yeah,
like we have a cell phone, and if you didn't know what it was, you would use it as a paperweight because it could hold paper down.
100%.
But when you once in a while it lights up, like what the hell is that thing?
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
we start to understand. Hey, when we actually activate these systems, the seven energy systems, and then
chakras.
the eight,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you want to call them, we learn how to work those, and then the other aspects like the pineal gland pushing up against that creates electromagnetic field, which is where the quantum field is. We start to activate that, and you realize this was how it works. We actually start to understand the technology. Otherwise, we're just using us as a paperweight.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
In other words, you're not using yourself to your fullest ability.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Dude, how do you feel that this has been going on for like thousands of years and Egyptians have known about it,
Yeah,
but it's like not really in the mainstream and most people just are like oblivious to it.
yeah. It is funny that we're waking up to it now, and it is interesting. It's almost like a cosmic joke, is the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like when your parents told you to go look for something that didn't exist when you were a kid, just to keep you busy, so they could like sit and watch the football
But
game.
it does exist.
Yeah,
It does exist.
it
This
does.
guy
Yeah,
wrote a roadmap on how to get there.
yes, it
It's
does.
legitimately a
Yeah,
roadmap. Because I listen to like other people that are like the law of attraction, this, that. You're like manifest it and it will come.
yeah.
If you really want it, you'll get it. But like how?
That's so. I've done a lot of studying with different people from this guy named Neville Goddard.
Who's that?
He actually lectured on this stuff back in the 30s in New York. He's actually from Barbados. He's
Really?
obviously no longer alive. Yeah. So he's written one of his famous books is The Power of Awareness, and he talked about this, but he didn't teach you the technique in order to develop it. So he understood it. He did it.
Did he talk about like the technical aspect of it?
He actually, yeah, what he did, not really technical. He used the Bible, the New Testament mainly,
Okay,
to
nice.
explain it. So you know how like Dr. Joe used a lot of things from Mark today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
yeah,
Mark or Matthew?
was it? Yeah, I think
Anyways,
yeah.
yeah.
So he would talk about this and the concept. So you listen, you read the book, you're shaking your head, but it's like, well, how do you do it? Where Joe is actually showing you how to change your persona. That's
Yeah.
what we want to do. Like, because the persona that was the lacking persona cannot become the abundant persona. Just like, I use this analogy a lot with actors. So you got Tom Hanks. Well, Tom Hanks played Forrest Gump, and he also played
Oh,
a
Tom Hanks
pilot.
is awesome, bro.
Yeah. So also played a pilot.
Yeah.
So there's Tom Hanks.
Well,
It's in the unified field to use that as an example.
mhm.
But then he chose a character called Forrest Gump. And he chose many other characters. But he had to literally leave the character of Forrest Gump to come in to produce another character in another film. So he would be like the soul or the energy field of his existence. So we ourselves create a persona. So, if we don't want to play that persona anymore, we have to step out of it, go into the quantum.
Yeah.
And how Joe's explained it, you got to get out of the physical world, go
Yeah.
within, and match up to light. And then all of a sudden, the techniques and how to drive it up, and then set the imagination in that field, which will create the holograph in which we come in.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I like the fact that you don't have to look without to find any of that stuff. It's all within you.
it's all within. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, because we're like, I look at this. We're like a projector.
Right.
So most people are they don't like the movie they're watching, they go rip the screen down. I'm like, you can rip the screen down, it's going to reflect on the wall behind the screen. If you go within and take the film out and put a new film in,
Mm-hmm.
you get a new movie.
True.
So,
And
going into the quantum field, creating a new fabric, because the film is actually, that's what it is. It's pixelated. So that's the holograph.
mhm.
And then the light, that's what we are, the projector. So whatever film we put on it, whatever thoughts we put in there, will project out into the world.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it makes sense.
yeah.
So for those of you that aren't here, and that's a lot of people, We've seen some trippy stuff, dude.
Oh
Like there's some
yeah.
like healing people. I've seen this guy that had stage 4 cancer today, and
Yeah.
he was feeling like really good, and he got chemo last week, and his brother was there to just help him out of the elevator, and just out of the airplane,
Yeah.
and brought him here. And today he was just walking by himself eating. He's like, dude, there's a 100% difference. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
How about that? That I don't know how old the woman was, but she had the Parkinson's.
From yesterday, the one,
Yeah.
or yesterday, the day before, the one that was dancing on.
She was dancing, and now
That's
she's like
crazy.
walking around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Parkinson's, and she looks like she's in her 80s. She's not like a young woman.
Yeah,
You know,
her
wow.
the one that her husband's there helping her.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
It is crazy.
Yeah, I saw her get up, sit down, and then she centered herself. She got up again,
Yeah.
sat down, and then the third time she got up and she started dancing. I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah. Right.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So it's just pretty much at the end of the day, it's the power of your
Yeah.
mind.
The thing that sucks about that, I can't complain anymore in my life.
Oh man, yeah,
It's like
yeah,
it's not going to happen. You know, when
Yeah.
an 80-year-old woman gets out of a wheelchair that had Parkinson's and couldn't open her hand up, and she opens it up,
yeah.
what am I complaining about?
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
and it doesn't help to complain. Just look within.
It keeps you in that character that you don't no longer like.
That's
It
true.
really does.
I like it.
So yeah.
Well, you were telling me earlier about Einstein,
Yes.
and he kind of like figured out the field. Can you tell me a little more about it?
Well, yeah. So you know, around the time when Einstein came in, obviously we know his special relativity equals mc squared.
Right.
So
Energy,
yeah,
mass.
so energy. So before that, everything was from the Newtonian physics. Everything was matter, and it's predictable. So it's right. If I grab this water bottle and drop it, every time it's going to fall to the earth. So it's predictable, and we're good for that. You know,
Right.
I'm glad that we have predictability, but predictability over time becomes boring. It's like Groundhog's Day. Like you can watch a movie first time and love it, second time, oh, it was good. By the 10th time that week,
Yeah,
you're
dude.
done with it because
You're
you
definitely done
know
with
what
it.
to expect.
Yeah.
And if you know what to expect, the body gets prepared and starts to break down because it says, hey, we're efficient. We don't need to produce a stronger protein. We don't need to vamp up the body.
Like going to work every single day
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
office. Yeah,
yeah.
man, that is, dude. That's like killer. That'll
And
kill you.
Yeah, and it's not so much going to work at the office, it's how you think about it. So it's not really what we do, it's how we feel about what we do.
That's true too.
So you can still go to the same job, but you feel differently about it. Now, the interesting is, if you start to feel different, the job will change. You'll probably own the company. You know, that's how it works. Yeah, it doesn't stay the same, but the goal isn't. People are trying to like, well, once I become boss, then I'll change. I'm like, you'll never be boss if you don't change.
No. That's the old model. The
Yeah.
new model is the
And
quantum model.
in the old model, like you had to wait till the other boss died
Yeah.
to get the job.
Nah.
You know, but now it's like you actually change your persona. You walk, you know, act as if. And I've learned these again, like I told you about Neville Goddard. I learned about that, act as if. But what we're learning in this week-long retreat is how to activate the system. It's like where the buttons on the phone are. Well, we're
Right.
like, oh, that's a button. What does that do? Oh,
Or
press
how
it.
to unlock the phone.
Yeah, how to unlock it. Then, oh my God, what does this app do? Oh my God, this app does. So we're
Yeah,
learning
yeah.
what all the programs or the systems do. And then we can choose the program in which we want from here on in rather than
That's awesome.
living over the old program.
That's a good way to look at it.
But yeah, so getting back to Einstein, so from that point forward, it was roughly around 1925, you get it right, is when they coined the phrase quantum physics.
Was it 1925?
Yeah, it was roughly around there.
It was like two guys that did it, right? Like Swedish guys?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a group of guys, but even Einstein was involved in it. But you know, so what they understood is prior to that, like in the late 1800s, they almost came to a conclusion: energy and physical matter are to be separated; they have nothing to do with each other. And that's when the Einsteins of the world came out and says, "Whoa, wait a minute! Everything has an effect on it. We just have to find it."
Yeah.
And so they found it. So obviously E equals mc squared. So how much energy does it take to create mass in accelerated speed squared? So the first thing in that equation, it's not mc squared equals E. It's E is the energy. So the energy is the field. So how we feel matters, but what's happening in situation, circumstance do not matter. They don't create matter. The physical world doesn't create matter. Our emotions create physical matter. So if you have poor emotions, you're going to create poor physical.
So you'd be a shitty person if you have poor emotions. You keep
Yeah.
beating yourself up.
Yeah,
You're gonna have bad things.
yeah.
Hey, everyone! Even if you don't understand that concept,
Yeah.
just stop beating yourself up.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
at the end of the day, just feel happy for what you do have.
Yeah, and it cause to some sense it's all an illusion, and I don't mean it in a trivial way, because it is, but just like a video game. But play it
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
Yeah, play it well. Definitely put it in. I mean, you're in the game whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So make the best out of it.
And the cool thing is when we get into this field, all of a sudden there's no right or wrong. All there is preference and non-preference.
What do you mean? There's no right or wrong? Like, I mean, if you hurt someone, then
Well,
I
what I'm saying, the
wrong.
thing is, if you were in that field, you would never even think about it.
That's true because
You
there's
would- yeah.
abundance of love.
Yeah. So if you you look at the 10 Commandments and the "Thou shalt not kill."
Right.
There's another level to that. So in the lower density, "Thou shalt not kill." You better not kill someone. You go into jail, so to speak. But at that level, "Thou shalt not," because it wouldn't conceive. You wouldn't even think about it. Like, think about you and I, like, after the show.
Yeah.
All you wanted to do is hug people.
I did, dude.
Did you
It
want
was
to
kinda
sock
weird.
somebody in
Nah,
the
I didn't
head?
want to punch
Yeah.
anyone. I just
So
wanted
when
to
you're
hug
in that
people.
state, the last thing you want, because you're taking, so when you're in the lower chakras or the lower energy source,
yeah.
that's survival. And in survival, you want to sock someone if they're going after your sandwich.
Yeah.
You know, and you're hungry.
That's
Like,
the
my
New Yorker.
sandwich.
That's the New Yorker coming out. Hey,
Give my sandwich back.
bring my Dunkin'
Yeah.
Donuts sandwich back.
Yeah. So, but when I'm above the survival mode, I don't take my sandwich, and then another one comes, and I might not be hungry. I don't need it.
Yeah.
But when you want to experience it, shows up, and it is a little weird to, like, people say, how do things get attracted to you? I'm like, because we become the electromagnetic field. We're actually creating. So the way I like to explain it is, if we're in a band, say we're musicians, 4 of us, right? We go into a studio.
You're the rock star, of course.
Yeah, well, we're all rock stars. You're in the
Yeah,
band.
that's true.
You know, I'm Mick, you're Keith, or other way around. Yeah.
Sure.
So I sing, you play guitar. Ron Wood plays the other guitar.
Joe.
Yeah, yeah.
Joe's on the drums.
Joe's on the drums, and so we go in the studio. We're creating, but then when we want to see what we created, we leave the studio and we go into the sound booth. And then the engineer plays it back for us. I'm like, okay, I like that. So that's the experience of a creation. So that's all we're doing. So most people are wanting the experience all the time. I'm like, no, you want the creating aspect of it. So now we come back, we go in the studio, and I was like, hey, we need more cowbell. So we go back to the studio, hit some more cowbell.
Yeah.
It's a funny Silent Life gig. You ever see that one?
No.
Oh,
Are you a musician, though?
Yeah, I play guitar.
Or do you? Like, you're in a band right now?
No, I'm not in a band now. But
okay, you play guitar for a long time.
Yeah, I played since I was 12. The guy I do my podcast with,
Yeah.
he was in a band called Ann Arbor. They travel
Really?
the world, yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. By the way, what's the name of your podcast?
It is Perspective Shift Now.
Perspective Shift Now.
Now, yep.
Nice.
YouTube, Spotify, and Apple.
Cool.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
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 Dude, you're good at this. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that energy,
It's
bro.
fun.
You just
Yeah,
switched on.
Yeah,
Whoa,
it's fun.
I was
It's
like,
fun.
Good.
Well,
good.
it's fun, man. You're easy to talk to, man.
Thanks,
yeah,
man. I
you
appreciate
got
it.
you got good energy. Great
Thanks.
energy.
Actually, everybody's been saying that.
Yeah, you got
I
great
don't know
energy.
why, but everybody's been
Well,
saying
because you
that.
do.
Thanks. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, I'll
You're
take
good
it,
at
bro.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how it works per se, but
Don't try to figure out how it works. Just work it.
Just work it. Ooh,
Yeah.
I like it.
Just yeah, because the fun is, and you probably know this, right? Like when you have a guest on, you have a podcast, and then you go back and play it, like, wow, that was great.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it, you like, we're creating.
Yeah, we are creating right now.
We're creating right now, but then later we'll watch it, and then we're actually experiencing the creation.
Yeah.
So we're not here to tell people to deny the experience. By all means, get the big mansion, get the Ferrari. But the creation that got you the Ferrari is more what we want to fall into, not so much the Ferrari. But the Ferrari's cool. I would never deny the Ferrari.
Yeah, yeah.
At all.
I mean, why would you?
Yeah.
Unless you have to pay taxes on it, then I
Well,
don't know.
but then you go back in the field and you just
manifest
you have
more
a
money.
yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
have counts in the Caymans. No, I was kidding.
Hey, that'll
the
work
IRS
too.
the IRS is coming after me now.
He's joking,
Yeah.
but it's actually how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works. If you really manifest it, you have to do the emotions,
Yep.
the feelings.
Yep.
You visualize yourself. And then apparently the way Joe described it, which I do in sales all the time,
Yeah.
is you're in one room and you go into the room, you just walk into the other room.
Yeah.
And it's there. And
Yeah.
it'll find you in a sense.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. It'll just find its way to you.
Yeah, and actually at that level, you don't mind giving the government their due.
Not just the government. Well, if you
Yeah,
have
everyone.
abundance of money and
Oh, you
you're
just give it
happy in
away.
life, you just give it
Yeah.
away, dude.
Hey, even Jesus said, give unto Caesar what Caesar is due. So he wasn't denying the payment of taxes.
Yeah.
He was just saying, don't get caught up in it. Like, don't give the money away.
Yeah.
The money is just a representation of your manifestation. It isn't the manifestation. The thing is, we're the manifestors. Money, we're like the printing machine. So I ask people, I'm like, hey, would you like a room full of $100 bills, or would you like the printing press that actually created it?
All right, I'll take the printing press, brother.
We are the printing press.
Yeah. Do you think money truly makes people happy?
No, definitely not. But truly happy people will always have more than enough money.
Yeah.
So it's not it's a paradox. So when you're going after money, because money is just an arbitrary thing. We created money.
Yeah.
So like the easy question to answer, if you're in the middle of the desert and you don't have water, but you have a bag full of money and it's $1 million, you can't drink it. Yeah. If someone came by with a bottle of water, you're giving them $1 million.
Give them $1.5 million.
Yeah. So money can offer up experiences.
Right.
And if you have a lot of it, it can offer up abundance of experiences.
I've heard people say that, brother.
Yeah.
On podcasts.
But what's amazing is, and like you said earlier, if I won the lottery, it'd probably ruin my life. But it wouldn't, because who you are. But what it is, it's we now in the state where we love the creation more than we do the experience. So if $1 million fell into your lap, what I would marvel over is not the $1 million, but how it came.
Yeah.
That's what I marvel over, how it came. Yeah, and then spend it like, I don't...
Give it away.
Yeah, give it away. Yeah, whatever. Or go shopping, buy the Ferrari, who cares?
Yeah, or there's enough to go around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is this. People who win the lottery think it's like, it'll never happen again. So about 60% of people go broke after I think 5 or 6 years. Is because in their mind, they didn't create it. It was given to them by some chance of...
they got lucky.
Yeah, they got lucky. And meanwhile, they didn't. They fell into the quantum field, but they weren't aware of it.
They weren't aware of it.
Yeah, so we all, we have our days where life goes great. We actually fell into the quantum field at a default rather than out of conscious.
What you said earlier makes sense, where sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days. It depends on your mood and your behavior. But if you change your mood or your behavior...
You create the mood.
Yeah, you create the mood.
Yeah.
You change it by creating it. Exactly. Yeah. Then you'll have a lot more good days than bad days. You can have all good days if you want.
You can. And, hey, you get caught up because we all have, what we call old programming.
Yeah.
So what we do is... what I like to do is every day create the state in which I'm in. And in that state, we'll have the thoughts that will come in. So if I'm in
how would you create that state?
Just, we go in, breathing, the techniques were shown. Even before I knew Joe Dispenza, it took a little more work. But I would go in there and I would meditate, do a 20-minute meditation. I did transcendental meditation and different sorts of meditation. All of a sudden, I felt good.
Yeah.
So now when I feel good, my thoughts are going to be good.
Yeah.
And so think about the states of, the United States, right? So you see, the state of Arizona. So if you're expecting to see the ocean in the state of Arizona, that's problematic. So if you're in a bad state and expecting good thoughts to come in, that's where the problem is. But if I am aware that I'm in Arizona, I'm like, yeah, of course it doesn't exist here. But because I'm not attached to Arizona, I myself can leave and go to California and then experience the ocean.
Go to Mexico instead.
Yeah. Go to Cancun and go to Joe Dispenza,
or
Dr. Joe.
Yeah, or just go to Cancun because it's cheaper and better.
Yeah. Actually, the water's beautiful.
Oh man, yeah. Did you go in the water today?
Oh yeah, right after the walking meditation.
Yep. Yeah, I did too, dude. It felt good.
Yeah. So how did you like the walking meditation? Man?
It's weird. So for those of you that don't know what a walking meditation is pretty much you're walking with your headphones on the beach, on the water, and you're meditating. So you're in a trance state sort of, but you're still walking with your eyes open. The point is for you to be able to change the world around you while you're still awake and your eyes are open.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be meditating in a deep trance state sitting in your couch. You could do it while you're walking, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of like walking the walk is really what it is. So you get leading up to when you open your eyes, I think it's 20 to 30 minutes, right? Standing there, getting the energy field. So when you open your eyes, start walking, you're acting as if you already are that person that you want to be.
So when we did it yesterday for the first time, that's the first time I did it.
Yeah.
Dude, my posture has changed. Like I've been standing up straight more. But I thought of myself, what would my best self do? Of course, he would stand straight.
Yeah.
And like my posture, I've noticed today and yesterday, it's just a lot more straight.
Yeah, because your body gets familiar with that frequency, and when you get into that state, the body knows what to do. When you get into the lousy state, the body goes like this.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you do it for like a week or two, if you don't do it for a week or two, you're gonna regress back to your old state. So you constantly have to just remind yourself.
Yeah, and the thing is, once you do it, again, I've done sitting and lying meditations. I've never done a walking meditation until yesterday.
How's the lying meditation? When you're lying down on
just lying down, yeah.
How are those? When you don't fall asleep?
No. Well, you try not to, but I've been doing it a while, so you don't fall asleep.
Okay.
But I like the sitting down and then lying down. But the walking meditation, it sets you up for.
It definitely sets you up. It's definitely different.
Yeah, it sets you up for your future self as
your future self.
Dr. Joe tells us. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
that's interesting, dude.
Yeah.
So where do you see this going? Do you think Dr. Joe's like going to build up even more?
Oh, he's not shrinking. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's definitely not shrinking.
Yeah.
I feel like he's trying to take a step back from this and like to have other people, because now he has like people that know exactly what he's doing. Maybe they can help out a little bit.
Yeah, and I think think about the community of people here. Like this, like I'm going to go home and start teaching this to my because I teach meditation as well. Like that.
You do?
Yeah, and a couple of years ago, before COVID happened, I got into high schools. And I was teaching different forms of meditation to high school kids.
Really? So you teach meditation?
Yeah,
Dude, I didn't know this.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so during meditation, my mind always wanders. Mm-hmm. I have to bring it back.
That's okay. It's
just
part
taming
of
the base. Yeah, but I mean, so before my body wasn't really used to meditating, and I'm very high energy, like you said. So it's 5 minutes, and I couldn't stand there anymore. Yeah. Now I could go like 2 hours, no problem.
There you go. So you got it.
Yeah.
So, but it started with the 5 minutes first.
Well, the way I look at it is I'm hitting the gym for my brain or my mind.
Yeah.
So it's 5 minutes here, and then I start running.
Yeah.
Okay, I did half a mile today. I did a little more tomorrow. Next thing I know, I'm running 5 miles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, start off. Yeah. Because if you start off too heavy, like anything, you're going to, if you try to run 3 miles and you haven't walked to the mailbox in a while, you're never going to do it.
You haven't walked to the mailbox? Back to New York.
Yeah, like, I'll pay the kid down the block to get my mail for me.
Man. I guess. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. So when I meditate, that's what happens. Or like I get like during the past 2 days, like because it's an hour and a half meditations.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about my ex, and then like I was thinking about my uncle, just so I could have like the bad emotions. Yeah. I noticed what my body was doing. It was trying to come out of it.
Yeah.
And I would tell myself like, no, why are we having this? We need to get back in.
Bam.
But that's how it works, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's enlightenment. So the cool thing about meditation is, it's the awareness. You become aware of something. Enlightenment actually really means lighten up. Like even Dr. Joe will say, hey, his bad meditations are his best. It's not about trying to be perfect every time. That's what got us into this mess.
Yeah.
But when I'm having a meditation and like your ex shows up and then you laugh, you smile, that's the point in which you pull it back. Now you're getting better at it.
Yeah.
So I tell people, I'm like, I'll never get angry ever again and not know why. But it's funny because I pause. They're like, you'll never get angry again? I'm like, oh, I get angry all the time. But instead of it lasting 3 days, it lasts 3 minutes now.
It doesn't turn into it does not turn into a personality trait, is what you're saying.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It shows up.
It's not even a mood.
No, it shows up and goes away.
So it's just a feeling.
It's just a feeling. And
nice.
Something hit me and I'm like, whoa, dude, stop. I don't like that feeling. I got too much going on today. Boom, get rid of it.
So today, dude, I had the craziest meditation during the middle one, the lunch one.
All right.
I was there right when you said lay down. Like, dude, I kind of felt like I had an out-of-body experience.
Oh, wow.
I felt that before once, and it scared me.
Yeah. So you might not come back.
Yeah. But I kind of like saw myself during the music just dancing.
Oh, really?
And like I was just having a blast. It was just me. I wasn't visualizing anything crazy, no aliens or anything.
No aliens. Yeah.
But it was just me by myself.
Alien. Yeah.
Just dancing in the music, and I was just looking at myself. And what I said was, like, remember this feeling to myself. I was like, if anyone ever tries to upset you or piss you off or anything, it's like, just remember this very feeling. How do you feel? Like, and I was like very happy because I was just dancing in the music, and it's like just lock that feeling in, and that's it, dude.
And that's what. So think about this. Like years ago, when I would get angry, my memory was of anger, and if something happens, I went right back to that anger.
Yeah.
But when we start remember feeling good, even when something would happen that even the world would justify as you getting angry. You don't, because you don't want to feel that way. So when we start remembering, like do a meditation, remember like, oh, I thought about my ex. Remember the point when you dropped your ex and went back into it. That's the point you want to remember, that you did it. You dropped it.
Yeah.
You didn't have to wait a whole day to get distracted to forget about your ex.
Yeah.
You literally did it, and that's the point.
But here's another thing. I didn't notice until Dr. Joe said it. He's like, the reason you're having these thoughts and your memories is because your body's yearning for something, or because it's like you're riding. It's
like an old drinking buddy.
Yeah,
where you going? Sit down. Have another drink.
You gotta get rid of those people.
Yeah. It's like, sit down. Come on.
Nah, even though you know it's bad, sometimes you do it, but
yeah,
it's not good.
And the cool thing too is the body is objective. It doesn't like once you change, you get rid of your drinking buddies.
Yeah.
And have your other buddies.
Like your meditation buddies?
Yeah, meditation buddies. There you go.
Hey.
All of a sudden, the body doesn't care. But it has to reach the tipping point in order to get rid of the drinking buddies to get your meditation buddies. And once it does, that's the natural response then. And all of a sudden, your drinking buddies will call, like, you're like, yeah, I'll catch you later. Like, it's not even, it's all of a sudden, it's not even an issue. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I know exactly what you mean, because when I wake up in the morning and it's mandatory for me to meditate.
Yep.
I just, actually, I'll call him back.
Yep.
I don't know what's up with that phone. Give me a sec.
All right.
You talk.
Yeah, so meditation, yeah. Yeah, so we're sitting at the hotel room, yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay. So one more question I have for you, since you know about meditation. So when I meditate for about an hour, my leg gets numb when I do the lotus position.
Okay.
What do I do to stop that from getting numb?
Just when you could stay in your meditation, just stretch it out.
Yeah, that's what I did. I was just in there and I just stretched out my leg. It just got better.
Yeah, because the purpose of meditation is like, if you can if you have a pain in your leg and do this, and you don't,
all right,
they're gonna be persistent, right? Yeah. So, yeah, what what Kettle's talking about, if you're in a meditative state and your leg or your back, just readjust it, but don't get out of the state. Stay in the state. Okay. So that's why, like, when we go from sitting to laying down, that's like stretching your leg. So if you can't go from sitting to laying down and lose a state, you're going to, like if I'm meditating in my house and I go out into traffic, I start cursing people off. I'm like, it doesn't work. So you have to be able to, so when I have a pain, I readjust myself, but I can get, I maybe lose a state for a second, I get right back into it. That's the purpose. That's the whole thing.
Got it.
Because we can't control the outside world. We can't. So if you have a pain in your leg, doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It's almost like, okay, boom. Okay, leg, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, that's exactly
and all of a sudden, bam, I go right back into the quantum.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. It was bothering me for like 5 minutes. I tried to push through it, but then I had to do it, bro, because it was going numb.
Yeah, do it.
It was painful. It was actually really painful after a while.
That's crazy to not do that.
Well, I pushed through it yesterday, and I was like, yeah. But then my head was hurting. But I read it's like mind over matter. But I was like, okay, should I really be uncomfortable during the meditation, or just get comfortable again?
That's it. And when you're comfortable, you get back into it. So there's no right or wrong there. So there is this physiological aspect of it too. But if you keep moving, it means the body's winning.
Yeah,
so to speak.
No, not like that. It was just my leg. Yeah, that's it. Other than that,
and once you readjust it, you're back in the zone.
Do you have any advice for like the youth or anyone that's never meditated, like how to get into it?
Yeah, you know what? I would look it up. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. I would look into Dr. Joe Dispenza because he explains it in a scientific way. But it's all about the breathing.
It's all about the breathing.
So because even like with the squeezing and getting all the energy systems
which
up,
I still haven't gotten down.
Yeah, well, I think you did. You just probably you can't. It's tough to explain. You have to experience it, but keep doing it. But it's almost like we go to the gym and lift weights.
Yeah.
When you go to lift weights, you actually take a breath, and then you hold it, and you're actually squeezing your lower appendages, like your legs if you're standing up and everything, and pushing it up, and that's what makes it feel good. But when you're unaware of what you're doing, you don't get the master effect of it.
That's true.
The awareness of something gives it a greater effect. So somebody could be doing something, but if someone says, hey, what you're doing right there creates this and that, and I was like, oh my God, it's now more information.
Awareness.
Yeah, so awareness to it. So like here at Dr. Joe, he explains everything to the T in the science. So he takes meditation. And I'm like, oh my God, I was unaware of that. So now when I squeeze, I'm more focused. And now I know what to look for because I'm aware. Before I wasn't aware of what to look for. But when I squeezed, it felt good. But now I know why. And so he brings up the whole electromagnetic field. So in the physical world, the body is contained to chemistry, chemicals.
Yeah.
In the quantum, it's energy. It's a whole different. It's a whole different feel.
Yeah, it is different, dude. It does make sense after a while. Like I know it sounds crazy for people that don't know what we're talking about.
Well, it would almost be like prior to Nikola Tesla and creating the alternate current. They were using what do you call it? Whale oil to light the lanterns. Yeah. That's chemical. That's chemistry. Yeah. Where this is electricity. Like you know how many
definitely in the field
candles it takes to light up a room, but one light bulb, bam.
Yep.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
It's different.
That actually makes perfect sense. You're right. Yeah. But the thing is, you don't need an external factor to create those things. It's just all in you, dude. You have the transducer, and you have the antenna in your head. Yeah. You just have to know how to turn it on. Yeah,
like I said earlier, it's a technology we have.
Yeah.
And we're just finally coming to you. We know how to use it now. Now, it's like, how good can I use it?
So, do you think bad people, or like people that have malicious intent, can't get into the quantum field?
If they got into the quantum field, they wouldn't have militia. The militia only happens in the lower density.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't do it.
What about like sociopaths and stuff like that?
They can't get into the quantum.
You don't think so?
No.
Like, did Joe ever talk about this?
I shouldn't say they can't. I have heard other people tell me. If they do, think about this. Like even like a and again, I never spoke to him, so but even like a Charlie Manson probably had his good days where he was in the quantum field.
Would choke you people or something?
No. I'm saying what happens is you only kill and do that, or sociopaths only do that when you're in a bad place in survival. Yeah, so when you're in survival, so like someone like a sociopath creates the lack of emotion.
Yeah.
But still is trying to survive, so they have to take out this person.
Oh, yeah, you're right, dude.
But when you get into a quantum field,
there's abundance of love.
There's too much money to try to take from somebody because you have your own.
You probably give it away.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't do that.
You'll get more probably.
So that's a question I get a lot of times. I'm like, no. People at the lower density in survival, they're gonna. They're going to do what they can do to get to survive. But when we get above that, there is no survival. You're actually creating the world. So why would you think about this? You know how much effort it takes to kill somebody? Then you got to hide the body. I've been through this. No, I was kidding.
He's from New York, dude. He dumped the body at the Hudson River. Yeah. Live with the mob.
Yeah. But it's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
But it's so much easier to be friends with someone. Like, and
it is, bro. Just befriend them.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, and when we start to understand this, we're going from survival, which produced competition, into moving up into the higher realms of the energy sources, into creativity, where we actually collaborate. Nice. So the more people you know, the more assets you're going to have.
Nice.
That's it. But when you're competing, and I had this, someone asked me a question. So you're saying competing is bad? I'm like, competing actually has a ceiling. And so then, well, what about athletes? I'm like, hey, the greatest athletes never competed. They performed. There's a difference.
I like it.
So Michael Jordan was not competing against that guy. He saw the basket and he went around that guy. He didn't even see that guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't competing. He was performing. He would sit in the dressing room and visualize the game. He didn't care who was on the other side, but what he did care is he wants the person that's playing to be at their best. So he wanted them to perform, just because if he was playing against high school kids, he would have never done the amazing shots he made.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
They pushed him to perform better because they were up to their game. Nice. He never competed. He performed.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. When you compete, you're only one step ahead, and then you have to worry about the guy catching up. But when you perform, you're light years away.
Yeah.
Light years away.
It's like being a finite player or an infinite player.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could play against other people.
Yep.
And like try to beat them, which I guess you could play that game. But if you try to be your best self and constantly try to improve, you're just going to become the best.
Yeah, exactly. So sports will never end. It's just the way we're looking at it. And actually look at, like, I boxed.
Did you?
Yeah, and so it's interesting. Before a boxing match, they always set it up to where the fighters hate each other, which they typically don't. They respect each other. But at the end, they're hugging each other.
Yeah,
this is a brutal sport.
Yeah, dude.
They're hugging each other. Yeah, but the other guy made him come to the place in which he played. You know, if a fight's set up properly and the other guy wins by decision, and he looks and he goes, "My God, I performed amazing. If it wasn't for you pushing me, I wouldn't have been here." And they literally levitate from the place they were in the physical world.
That's crazy that you went from boxing to helping kids meditate in high schools.
Yeah, but it's better to do that than to box. Right?
I mean, but it's always good to have some self-defense.
Yeah, well, no, it is now. I use it as not even self-defense. I use it for technique and focus.
Good.
So I'll teach kids boxing and stuff.
That's
but
awesome, bro.
It's for focus. It's sportsmanship, but focus. Like you have, like if someone's punching at you, you gotta be conscious.
Yeah.
You gotta be focused.
Yeah.
You can't if you're not focused, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
So when you stay focused, you're present in the present moment. And then boxing, first thing I learned is to breathe in and out your nose.
Yeah.
That's without even knowing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Box breathing, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah. Box.
Like 4 breaths in, 4 breaths out.
Yep.
That's what Navy SEALs use, right?
Yeah. So, and when it happens, you're breathing in your nose, it triggers your nitric oxide, which creates this oxytocin, which Dr. Joe keeps talking about. And then actually dilates the blood vessels, which gets more blood to the body and makes you more vibrant and longer lasting in the sport. Okay. So, and in boxing, obviously, you have a mouthpiece, so you can't really breathe out of your mouth.
Cool.
If you do, you can break your jaw.
One last question, and I have one more question.
Go
Do
ahead.
you think there's like real magic in life?
Magic is not understanding something.
Yeah.
So in other words,
a
magician is a mystic, right? So you and I are like mystics to most of the people.
Mm-hmm.
But once we teach them, it's no longer mystical. So the cell phone we have right now, to everyone, it's not mystical. But if we went back 50 years and showed people, they would think you were God.
Yeah.
They would, just 50 years ago, not that long ago, they would think you were God.
Yeah. If you captured a picture, dude, and you showed it to them and sent it around,
like, and spoke to somebody, it's not,
100 years ago, they would burn you.
yeah, they would. 50 years ago, 50 years ago, they want to be your friend, right?
Yeah.
You burn
100 years ago, they would definitely burn you at the stake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I think magic is science we don't understand yet.
Exactly. That's what.
But like Dr. Joe's been able to explain it, dude. So there's not really. It's magical, but it's also not magical. There's like a scientific aspect of it because you understand what you're doing.
Yep.
You're not just like just trust me and do it. Like here, this is why you should do it. I made a lot of mistakes along the way.
Yeah, like Mind Freak. What's that guy's name? Angel.
Yeah. Chris Angel.
Chris Angel. Like he understands his stuff to a degree. Like
100%, bro.
And so. He's now a mystic, so he uses it to entertain people.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, I don't know if he gives his, actually, like, if he told this to people about quantum physics, he wouldn't, like, someone's like, hey, what's your trick? What's quantum physics? They're like, what?
Yeah.
He's not like, oh, it was under, the ball was under here. He's doing completely other things.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But he's trippy, dude. I watched him, like, reappear from one place, and they're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. So
or to levitate.
Yeah.
That's crazy too.
It's think about that. It's quantum physics. So
yeah,
I haven't experienced that myself, but I don't deny it exists.
100%. I mean, I've adopted the mindset that don't just like get rid of stuff.
No.
Like when you're like thinking, just be open to everything, brother.
Yeah.
Just be open. I haven't experienced any of that stuff either.
Yeah.
But definitely, like, I don't want to say it doesn't exist because then I'm closing myself out.
Exactly.
It's anything and everything is possible.
Yeah.
Just because I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it's not possible.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is now we know like my preference might not to like. In other words, I'm sure that's possible, but my job isn't to try to figure out whether it is or isn't.
Yeah.
My possibilities are over here. Everyone has their. When we get into that place, we step out of get in there. You'll know what to do, and so like he said, like the information comes to is signature for me, and even though we could be in the same state, we could both get into a gamma state. When you come back with something different than I did. Yeah, but yet it's prevalent to your life and the way you're going, and mine's prevalent. But we're both in the gamma state where we got the information from.
Nice.
So, and that's what I tell people. Like, you go into that place, you'll know what to do.
Yeah.
Don't try to figure it out. Like, trying to figure it out is working down here and kicking the can around.
That's what I've been trying to do, man.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna kind of let go and just like instead of figuring it out, just like okay.
Yeah, it's a process.
But I like knowing,
Yeah.
I'm a little analytical. Like I check my heartbeat and like, so like how long we've been in here, this, that. Yeah.
Now place your analytics into the field. So in other words, use the analytics to get to the field. Once you get to the field, then where the fun is not knowing. Like think about you and I sitting here.
Yeah.
Like when did we meet? 2 nights ago?
Yeah, literally, dude.
And here we are having a podcast.
That's awesome, bro. Thanks again for coming on my podcast.
No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you having me on. But we could have never like created this.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say we created, but we never could have correlated.
Yeah.
The way it happens, and that's the fun of it.
That is very fun, dude.
Yeah.
Just going into the unknown is very fun.
Yeah, like
dude.
we started.
That's why I like traveling.
Yeah.
Because I'm going into the unknown. I can't predict what's gonna happen.
No.
Because I don't know what the fuck people do in Morocco.
Yeah,
for fun, you know?
you'll find out.
I mean, I'll find out. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: you have to go there, and you'll find out,
Yep.
and you'll probably have a blast, dude. You know.
Well, whatever state you go in,
Yeah.
anything, if you go in exciting, you'll only have excitement.
Yeah.
So that's how you take fear. Like, I'm going to an unknown place. I'm like, well, if you go into the unknown exciting, you have an exciting time. If you go into the unknown fear, it's going to be problematic, you know?
Yeah, that's why people don't
create
come to
this
Mexico.
create this state, yeah, because they have a preconceived understanding.
Dude, I've been to like 10 different cities.
Yeah.
Like out of the beating path. I've never gotten into any trouble. No one's bothered me.
Why would you?
No, but I went in oh, it's nice. I don't have any money. I'm not looking for prostitutes. I'm not looking for drugs. I'm just going to have fun.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, because otherwise that's survival.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you're survival, you gotta survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mexico's a tough place to survive.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah. But when you're in the higher levels, it's like you don't even think about that. Everyone's beautiful. Everyone's your friend. Everyone's your family.
Good.
And have some tequila while you're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can. Why not? We should have tequila the Saturday tomorrow night. Actually.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
Yeah, we should actually do it, bro. Hey,
Yeah.
it's all inclusive hotel. Why
Yeah,
not?
right. I'm buying.
Why not? It's the
Yeah,
last night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Because Sunday,
and then and that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
One last question for people that like are in a rut or just they don't really care about Joe Dispenza, that are just in a bad place in their life. Do you have any advice for them, brother? Just so they could just better their lives?
Yeah, simply if you do something different every day. Like say you drive to work, and people have heard this before. But if I drive to work this one way, if I go a different way, you have to become conscious. If you become conscious, you're actually creating new neural pathways. You're going to feel different. And when you're feeling different, you're going to feel better. And when you actually understand what's happening, it's being conscious. But when you're unconscious, that's the rut. So what is the rut?
That is
the neural pathways are so grooved in your head, energy can't go anywhere else but that place. But if I go this way to work and I go right to work, and if I go left, I have to be conscious.
Yeah. So what you're saying is wake your ass up, and the way to do it is to try something new.
Just try something new. And then when you start to feel different, now I'm like, okay, let me experience this more. And then I tell people, wake up in the morning and meditate for 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. All right? And after a minute, I'll have people... I'm like, I don't feel good. I'm like, just do me a favor right now. Breathe in. A couple different breathing techniques. But how do you feel? Like, pretty good. I'm like, you just did that. I had nothing to do with that other than the suggestion to do it.
Yeah.
They just did it. I'm like, so now the next time you're not feeling good, it doesn't cost money to breathe in and breathe out. And it took less than a minute.
Yeah.
Now, if it took us a minute to feel this good, imagine you did it for 5 minutes. Imagine you did it for 20 minutes.
Or you could break it down, dude, and just feel good all day.
Yeah, exactly. So you're in control how you feel. But you're responding and reacting to the outside world, which you have no control over.
Yeah.
You have control over how we feel.
That's why I stopped watching the news.
Yeah. But then actually the cool thing is once we get into the field, then we start putting our input into the field, into the quantum.
Too.
Yeah.
That's crazy too.
And then, it is crazy. But that's the fun of it. But it's the unknown stuff that I look forward. It's like the 6-year-old child that wakes up on Christmas morning and sees that big red box. They get excited.
What's in there?
And what's happened when the joy comes is when they open up, they realize they asked for it. They wrote it on the list.
And they're not in a fight or flight state.
No, because they don't have enough
happy state.
They don't have enough memory or past experience by that age anyway to even know they should have an emotion other than excitement.
Damn, dude, you really looked into this stuff.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I read his books too, but cool, bro.
Yeah,
that's it,
man. Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
thank you so much.
Peace out.
Yeah. Thanks again. Oh, check out his podcast. Where can they find you?
Perspective Shift Now. It's on YouTube and Spotify and Apple.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Right on.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
Peace out.